will come.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you,
Just join
baby.
up, giving some time for other people to join us. So we're going to start our session in 2 minutes.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here.
Thanks for taking this time to chat. Could you please
You give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
Thanks for taking this time to chat. Could you please introduce yourself to us?
I think we can start our session now. So let me just start the session by introducing myself. My name is Bemnet Bakala. I am the lead head of community education. And in this session, we are going to be discussing about how to use Codeforce and how to participate in Codeforce contest, because this participating in Codeforce contest is stated as one of the criteria to join A2SV's community education. So in A2SV community education, we host a contest every Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. in East African time. And how to use Codeforce and how to participate in Codeforce contest, because this part in these contests and solve 2 or more questions. Participating in Codeforce contest is and be admitted to the education program. And after we have announced this to the public, we have seen that most people are not aware about the Codeforce platform and they are having hard times in navigating the platform and participating in the contest. And we have received so many requests and questions, actually, that are related to how to participate in this contest and also how to excel in this contest. So that's why we decided to organize this session. Of course, for those who are going to miss this session, it's going to be recorded and it's currently being live streamed on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it or you want to share it with your friends, the entire session would be available at A2SV's YouTube channel. So go ahead there and check it out. So yeah, this is just a small description about the session. So uh, from now on, my partner, Emmanuel, is going to lead the session. He's going to show you some basic facts about Codeforce, how to navigate in the platform, and how to participate in contests that are organized by the community education, and also in general, there are global contests that would really help you improve your uh, coding skills. So, in how to join and how to participate there, he will be showing you. So, I'm going to leave the stage from now on. You can take it.
Ambassador of Rwanda to United.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So basically, to introduce myself, my name is Emmanuel Allahin. I'm the head of community education intern at A2SV.
Ambassador of Rwanda to United.
Basically, in today's session, what we're going to be doing is we're going to see how what Codeforces platform as a platform is, and also how to use the platform or how to use the website
As one of the criteria to join it to organize this session. From now on, my partner, Emmanuel, is going to lead the session. He's going to show you some basic facts about Codeforce, how to navigate
what Codeforces
in the platform,
Ambassador of Rwanda to United States.
in contest.
So the flow is going to be, first off, we're going to see what Codeforces is, and then we're going to see the basic stuff, what some pages means, like the profile page, what the users mean, how to add users as a friend, and then the next part is all about related to contests. So as you know, in Codeforces, there are global contests and there are contests, custom contests for genes. And then we're gonna see about what A2SV weekly contest is about. And then basically we're gonna see problem sets or basically practice problems. And then we're gonna see what happens when you submit a problem, what the message is gonna be, it gives you means. And then we finally conclude the session by basically introducing with an extension for our browser and also Visual Studio called Competitive Programmer Helper. So yeah, let's go on through with it. So basically what Codeforces is. Codeforces is a website. It's a Russian website. It's used to host competitive programming contests. And basically, it hosts contests and user can participate in those. It's the largest contest hosting website. There are other platforms like it. There are LeetCode, there are KAIST. However, Codeforces is the largest one. So let's start with the interface. So when we open Codeforces, it's gonna look like this. It's not visually very appealing. However, it's very powerful website. So let's just randomly open another person and see what they have. When you open a person's profile, you're gonna see first off their rating, and then you're gonna have their names, and then where you can see their maximum rating. There's such a thing as rating. We're gonna see it later on in this lecture, and also their peak rating, and then another thing you can see is the number of contests they participate, the number of followers they have, and then you can also see the blogs they wrote. You can write blogs in here. You can see what blogs they wrote. You can most of red coders basically added contest analysis, how they approach problems. So you can read about those in their blogs. You can also send a message, private message for them. However, sending message is limited to, I think, four messages per day. Yeah. And then you can see there basically a graph to show the progress of each individual contest. So how did the rating change in each contest? And then finally, we have a heat map, which shows the frequency of their submissions, the frequency of the frequency of their submission, maximum streaks, how many problems they solve, and other things. And another thing you can do is you can add users as a friend. To add a user as a friend is basically you have to hit this star button here. So if we click the star button, you can add this user as my friend. And one thing this feature allows us to do is, let's say I open some random contest like this. Wait, I can just open some random contest, and when I open standing, basically what it's gonna be showing is it's gonna show the whole participant rank standing. However, I might not want to see that. I might want to see some of my friends standing, so I can just open the friends standing, and yeah, I can see the standings of my friends, how many problems they solved, their rating change, and other things. That's basically the use for adding users as a friend. Also, if the user, this is basically a list of users that are top rated. However, I can also start users who are not in this list. So let's say I have a friend and I want to add him as a friend. So to do that, there's a search button here. So to do that, let's say I search his name and I can find him, and basically I can add them as a friend or not. I can see there how many problems I've solved and any other statistics about them. Yeah, basically this is the first step in getting through the Codeforces. See, here we can see searching users, adding them as a friend. And another thing about Codeforces is, as we said earlier, Codeforces is basically a platform to host contests. However, the problems in each contest is going to be added to a repository, a questions repository called problem sets. And in this problem set, like, you can find a ton of questions added here. So let's try to make sense of it, like this problem. So in each problem, they have a problem ID, the problem title, and then we have tags. So you might ask yourself, what are tags? So tags are basically a problem topics that are related to a specific problem. So let's say this is it started. This question will be solved using is related to the data structure strings and string manipulation. If we try to see, let's say, the next problem, are you robot again? This problem is related to the expression parsing, graphs, metrics, strings, and yeah, this topics. And basically what this gives us is it allows us to basically narrow our focus and focus on this specific tags to come up with a solution. And then next to those, we have like this a person logo and some numbers. This means basically how many students or how many people solve this problem. So this problem is solved by like 8,085 people. If we go down like this, we can also we begin to see ratings. So this problem like have a rating of 1,100. So you might ask yourself, what are ratings? Ratings are basically a numerical values that are given to a question to indicate basically how difficult that question is. So in Codeforces, ratings range from 800 to 3,500. 800 means that problem is the easiest, and 3,500 means that question is the hardest. So ratings increase like by 100 value. So starting with the easiest really really help us understand the problem. Then we can just move on to, let's say we start with 801, and then once we are comfortable with those, we can move on to 900, 1000, 1100. We can progress like that. To do that, like we can sort this problem set by using their ratings. So this is rated from the maximum to the minimum. We can also change that like this. I think it's loading. Yeah, so now we can sort them like from the smallest to the maximum. Doing that, like we can basically go from the smallest to the smallest rated problem, or from the easiest to the hardest, and it's make our progress a lot smoother. We can also sort them by like how many people they solve. So if a problem is solved by a lot of people, that means the problem is easy to approach. It's not that hard. So it's also really good thing to practice with problems that have many people solve them. So these are about the problems. As you can see, we see what tags means. As we said, tags represents a problem, topic, or algorithm. Tags helps users identify the main theme or the technique required to solve this problem, as we said earlier. Like a problem will have a tag of sorting and binary search, which means that problem basically requires us to do some kind of binary search on it, or we have to sort the problem. Rating, as we said, are numerical values given to denote the difficulty of a problem. And total problem solved is like, it's a straightforward definition, how many people have solved that problem. So now to the main part of this lecture. So contest. So as we said in Codeforces, Codeforces as a website, its main aim is to host contests. So what do they do? Basically, we have global contests, which means contests prepared by the Codeforces website. So these contests are open contests and rated, which means we basically be given 0 rating when we create our first account. And when we participate in global contests, our rating may increase or decrease depending on how many problems we solve, how quickly we solve them, our standing, and any other factors. And these contests are basically held weekly, not exactly weekly, but let's say within 5 days or 4 days interval. And also, like when we participate in this contest, we're competing with other people. We're competing with other people in all over the world. So we are competing with rate coders, legendary grandmasters, and any other people because it's open. And basically, it's a good opportunity to increase our rating, to level up. That's our main aim. And in this contests are also divided into divisions. So the smallest being the smallest, and I want to say the least used is D4. D4 is like for absolute beginners and users with slight understanding of competitive programming, but not that deep. And then there's Div3, which is slightly more challenging than Div4. However, it's still a lot more easier. And then we have Div2, which is for people who have an intermediate level of understanding about data structures, programming, and other things like that, other related things. So this includes mathematics. And then we have Division 1. Division 1 is the most prestigious division, which is basically mainly used for people who have a rating starting from above specialist, I want to say. So another thing is we have custom contests or GINs, which is any user who has participated in, I think, 3 global contests can create this custom contest. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take problems from the problem set and basically create a mashup contest. And this works like a normal global contest. So A2SV, as we said, A2SV program basically creates this contest weekly. So A2SV creates for community education. We have one contest every day, every week that will be held on Saturday. This will start at 6 p.m. And this contest basically consists of problems. Usually they have 7 problems. However, on some days on some days, like when the problems are gonna be hard, we reduce that to 5 problems. And basically what this contest will be used is to be added to community education and to be added to waitlist or to be added to classes. So we have basically 2 requirements. The first one is to participate in at least 2 consecutive contests. So many people really miss this key point. It's not basically to participate in 2 contests, however, to participate in at least 2 consecutive being the keyword here, consecutive contests. And also during this contest, you have to solve at least 2 problems in one contest. So let's say I participated in this week's contest and the next week's contest. To be added to the community, like, yes, I have participated in 2 consecutive contests. However, if I solve 1 problems in the 2 contests, I will not be added to the community. Instead, I have to participate at least in one of those contests. I have to solve 2 problems or more problems in that. These are basically our requirements for being added to the community waitlist, to community education. And yeah, when we let's go to the Codeforces problem. So let's open this problem and see. So this problem basically will be given some input cases, and we have like some inputs. We don't want to just submit our code, the code we write, right? Because submitting the wrong answer is gonna cost us some point, and our ranking is gonna be lower than what we ideally want it to be. So if we wanna test our code with more robust data, with more robust test cases, so like we came up with some test case, how are we gonna do that? Basically, we're gonna open custom test, and basically we're gonna put our code here. And basically we're gonna give it our own inputs like 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 4, 2, 3 and 1. So basically this is the test case we gave it, and when we basically run this code, it's gonna return us some kind of output, and from that we can basically check our codes. If we can basically debug or check if our code is working perfectly, rather than submitting it directly and seeing like if it got accepted or if it failed, and any other things that might penalize us and cost us some points. And the next thing is when we submit a problem, like we're gonna be having some kind of verdicts. So accepted means like that problem is accepted. So that's the ideal thing we want when we submit our code. However, we could also have wrong answer, which means if our submission returns wrong answer, it means that our code produces an incorrect output. So for some test case, our code produces the output of 3. However, we want it to produce 2. So this wrong output is gonna return us wrong answer. Compilation errors are like errors that are caused by syntax errors or compilation issues. And then another thing is time limit exceeded. So this means our code took too long or too much time to execute. So like if I give you one tip here, what you're gonna do is basically you have to analyze the big O or the time complexity of your code, and basically see if your constraints, like these are the constraints for the problems. You're gonna see if this constraint could be less than 10 to the power of 8. If that's the case, the code will pass. However, if you put this n value, the maximum upper limit, which is 1000, in your code's basically big O analysis, and it returns like 10 to the power of 10, it's not gonna pass. So you have to bring down your complexity of your algorithm. And memory limit is the same thing as time limit exceeded. However, in this case, rather than taking too much time to execute, it's using more memory than allowed. And then we have runtime errors. Runtime errors are basically errors that occur during our course runtime, during the course compilation. So these are also another problem we're gonna face. And then finally, when we submit a code, we're gonna be basically errors that occur during they're not verdicts, our course runtime. We're gonna have some kind of situation, which is our code could be in queue, or it could be testing on test case something. So what does in queue means is like there's some kind of, you can think of the submission like a tunnel, and our code being placed in that queue, and it's waiting for its turn to be judged. It's not judged yet. However, it's waiting for its turn to be judged. That's what in queue means. And let's say you might ask yourself, like the contest is running out of time. So we have like 2 seconds and we submit our code and it says in queue. Will that code be judged like as it has been submitted in the contest, or since it hasn't been judged when the contest is alive, or when the contest has been alive, will that be rejected? The thing is, when the code says in queue, it's gonna be judged no matter what, and the time will be given the moment you clicked on submit, not the time it's actually judged. So it's not really, it doesn't really matter. So you don't have to worry about it. The time will be taken like the moment you hit submit. And then finally testing. So when their server is basically busy, testing takes a lot of time. So you might say your code is running on test 2, and then it says test 4. So which means your code is currently being judged. So that's what that means. And then finally, we have to see like accepting inputs. Let's see from this problem. By the way, the reason I'm using Python is the standard programming language we use at A2SV is Python. That's why. So in Python, whenever we want to accept an input, we're gonna basically have to put this keyword input. However, this input keyword is gonna get a string input. So to get this specific number, what we have to do is we have to cast it to integer. So we have to basically say integer and this input. So what this does is it's gonna basically cast our code to be an integer, and then this is an array. So how are we going to accept an array? Basically, what we're gonna do is first off we have to map them to integer, and then we have an input, the string we accept. And then what we have to do is we basically have to split this integer, and then we're gonna just basically returns a list. However, we can also cast it as a list here, which is optional. And yeah, that's how we're gonna accept inputs. So like for this test case, we have 3 arrays. Either we can do like this, or we can do like, we can use some kind of for loop. And basically get this array and do some processing on it. That's how we accept inputs in Codeforces. And then finally, let's come to personal ratings. Whenever we participate in, as I said, when we create a Codeforce account, we're gonna basically be given a rating of 0. However, we can participate in global contests and increase your rating. So when your rating reaches 1,200, you're gonna be promoted to pupil, or you're gonna be green coder. And then when you reach 1,600, you're going to be specialist, and 1,900, you're going to be expert, and so on. These are the numbers. So if you're thinking about being a serious competitive programmer, you have to participate in global contests as well. And like when we start, we basically to increase our rating, we basically have to participate in contest divisions 2 and 3, and the same for pupils and specialists. So it doesn't basically decrease our ratings. However, let's say an expert participates in these 3 contests, his rating, no matter how good he does, his rating is gonna go down. And from this point on, you have to participate in Div 2 or 1. And then when you reach master, it's only division you have to participate is in Division 1. And then finally, we came to competitive programmer helper. So what does CPH means? CPH is basically CPH basically means it's an extension. It's an extension that we are gonna install on our browser, and also it's a Visual Studio extension. And basically what it does is it compiles and it runs our code, and basically it simulates the online judging behavior without submitting it. And it also allows us to work on a more IDE or integrated development environment rather than writing the code in Codeforces. So basically this CPH works best in platforms like Codeforces and Catis. And if we open this link, there's a link to install this CPH Competitive Programmer Companion. And I fortunately have this one. This is the extension. So let's try to see it. On the Visual Studio, we can also search Competitive Programmer Helper or CPH. So CPH this is the extension, Competitive Programmer Helper or CPH, and we're gonna have to install it. I already installed it, so that's why it says uninstall. And when we install this extension, we're gonna have some kind of tab here called CPH. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna create some folder. Let's call it this folder CPH and open it on VS Code. So like whenever I have a problem, let's say I want to solve this problem, which is Teams. So to add this problem to my IDE, to my VS Code, what I have to do is I just have to click on this plus button or the CPH icon. And when I do that, you can see there's a blue bar appearing on the top.
Thanks for taking this time to chat. Could you please introduce your...
Okay, so... wait.
Could you please introduce your...
Okay, so... wait. What is happening? So like I have a problem.
Could you please introduce your...
Okay, so a new problem will be created. 18 players, as you can see. Wait. Here, 18 players. What is happening? Maybe let's just do that. So like I want to add this problem, so I just put the plus icon and I get this. By the way, can you see my screen? The VS Code? Oh, okay. So just let me. What about now? Can you see the VS Code? Okay. So basically, I have this problem. First up, okay, if you're not seeing, let's start from the beginning. So I have to install an extension called Competitive Programmer Helper in my VS Code. So I just have to search CPH. which is this extension, Competitive Programmer's Helper. I have to install this in my VS Studio. When I do that, there's some tab that will appear, which is this tab, and from that on, let's move on. So I have like a problem here. Where's my problem? Yeah, the problem's size 18, and I want to add this to my VS Code and work on it on my VS. So to do that, I have to basically press this plus button here. When I do that, it's gonna basically migrate the problem to my VS Code. And as you can see, it takes all the test cases and also the expected outputs and for me to work on, which makes submitting and writing the problem a lot easier. You can also submit it directly from here. It has a submit button. So yeah, this is the Competitive Programmer Helper extension. And then finally, if you have any questions, this is the time. Yeah, thank you. So guys, any questions you have? Sure. Aidan, yeah, Jimmy, I hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. However, I will send the PowerPoints, the slides, and attach it to the community Telegram group. And also I'll add that in the WhatsApp group. Sure, I'll do that. Yeah, so if there's, sure. Zaki, I think you can continue.
Yes, okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
All right, so I have a question, like there are two questions. The question number one is about the division in the contests. Like if someone is a beginner, like could you kind of show us how you can select a specific division, like division 4 or 3, based on your level? And the question number two is like, let's say you are using the extension and maybe let's say the question has only 2 tests, and maybe let's say the question is failing on test number 4, and you want to add more tests based on the tests from the Codeforces. Is there any way you can add those tests from Codeforces, let's say 8 more tests in using the extension? Thanks.
Okay. I think your first question is like, how are we gonna select the correct division? So let's open this contest tab and see. This were the past contests. So we have like whenever a contest is, whenever there's a global contest, there will also be attached the divisions. And it will also be for the upcoming contest, there's gonna have a reminder here. So let's say we are a beginners. So for a beginner, like as I said, Codeforces contest is open for everybody. However, what are the contests that we are most likely to solve problems in? Like for me, as a beginner, I'm not just gonna participate in Div1 contest, which I have 0 chance of solving even one problem. So this is basically the decision is yours. You have to choose which contest you are comfortable to participate in it. So for beginners, the most recommended are like Div4 and Div3. You can also move on to Div2. There you might have a chance of solving 2 problems, A and B, I think. So as I said, the contests are basically divided in divisions. So for Division 4, the problems are gonna be a lot easier. The problems are gonna be tailored for beginners. And for Division 1, it's gonna be the more advanced one. So for a beginner, I recommend just participating in Div4 and Div3, and with the occasional Div2. I think that's the first question. And the second question is, I think you are asking how add more test cases in the problem, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, or did I misunderstand?
Yes, like I was asking if you can get some test cases from Codeforce and add them to your VS Code using the extension.
Oh, yeah. I think now I understand your problem. Yes, to add a new test case, basically you're gonna have a button here, new test case. When you hit that, like what will be the test cases? So let's say, okay. So what are some of the problems like? Sure. Let me just show you some problems that just failed on me. Is this? No. Yeah. Let's just open this problem. It says perfect number. So let's add this to our Codeforces. So it basically migrates it to this VS Code. And we have this code. And as you can see, there's some test cases that failed on me. So let's try to check it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't offer any kinds of basically it doesn't show the problems that failed on. So let's try to find another problem. I think is this no. Yeah. So let's try to see this problem. So I have like this test cases. So I want to add this. I just have to basically copy and add this to the input test case. And now I can basically run and try to see if my code works with this test case. That's how we can add test cases to the CPH platform. I don't know if this addresses your question or not. However, this is how we can add test cases to our basically CPH or to our VS Code. We can also give it some custom test cases like one, and we can add some arrays like this if we have our our own test cases. And yeah, that's how we gonna add new test cases. Sure, Tiago.
Yeah, hello, Amanda.
Hello, Tiago. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. So my question is, during the contest on Saturday, so the contest we'll be participating in is from like it's from A2SV. Are you creating this contest or we pick them randomly?
So yeah, for the weekly contest, what we're gonna be doing is the problems. We're not the one who are basically adding the problems. I think Codeforce has a limit on who can add problems. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select some kinds of problems we think are tailored for the people who wants to join this community, the community education. So like on problems like string manipulation, array manipulation, and some problems like that. And we're gonna select some kinds of problems. We try to select problems that are not that too much difficult, but also that are not just could easily be solved. However, we try to find this happy medium between workable and also not that difficult. And we create this contest. So we are the one who selects the problems. However, we are not the one who will be creating the problems, if that makes sense.
So the second question is, how many should we have in order to be eligible? So, like, how many questions total?
Okay, so like to be part of the community education, you have to. One of the requirements is participating in 2 consecutive contests, and also to basically solve more than 2 problems in at least 1 contest. So like you participated in 5 contests. From this 5 contests, like 2 of them are consecutive, And also in one of them, you manage to solve like 4 problems, more than 2. So let's say 4 problems. If you do that, you're gonna be added to the waitlist. And then whenever we have a sufficient students, and also whenever there's empty classes, we're gonna take people on the waitlist and add them to our classes. So yeah, I think this is the requirements for all join. So Asari, sorry, Asari, yeah, you can continue. Hello? I think Asari, Benedict.
All right, thank you. I have 2 questions, and my first question is, what is the best way to approach problems on Codeforces? Are there specific strategies I could follow or something? And the second question is, how can I learn from other coders on Codeforces? Are there any forums or communities I should join?
Okay, so basically, if I could answer your first question, the best way to basically approach a problem or learning how to do a problem is, first off, you have to be familiar with the topics. So let's say some problem is going to be solved using graph theory or using DFS or depth first search or breadth first search. So you have to know first off the theory first. And then the second thing is to do a lot of problems. Basically, there could be some variant of the same problems. So you have to, with practices, I think you get to see patterns on each problems. Also, you know how to solve each problems. Your intuition begins to develop. There's a book called, I think, Competitive Programmer's Handbook. I really recommend that. It's a very interesting book. It shows, it offers high-level understanding of each topic. And once you have those high-level understanding, basically what you have to do is try to solve as many problems as you can. For the second question, I think I did not fully get what you are asking. So if you could repeat to me, I could answer it.
All right. My second question was, how can I learn from other coders on Codeforces? Are there any forums or communities I can join?
I'm sorry, still, I didn't get that. How can I what?
How can I learn? I mean, maybe there are some communities or forums on Codeforces you can join or something.
About the Codeforces, I think, as I said, Codeforces is a company owned by, operates in Russia. So for that, in Telegram, it has a strong community. Plus, also in the Codeforces workspace, I think there's a lot of discussions and there's a lot of, you can ask anything, like you can search about anything you want, like strings, and you can basically get, it offers like a forum, and there's a lot of interesting people commenting and discussing some kind of ideas. So Codeforces itself is one great tool. The other one is there are a lot of communities in Telegram about Codeforces and competitive programming. I will attach some of their link in our channel. And also our community education is another great way. Like if I could show you, let's just open Ethiopia. If you could see the top rated users from this country are, almost all of them are from A2SV. So A2SV is also a great resources to learn about Codeforces. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So any question from? Yeah, I think if there's no more question, I think we could end the session. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ahmad. It was a great session. I believe most of the people have got great insights on how to use Codeforce and generally how to navigate the platform and how to effectively participate in our community contest. So, I just want to say one last reminder. So, A2SV community hosts this contest every Saturday, starting from at 5 p.m. in East African time. So, I really encourage you guys to join that contest just to have the experience, even if you don't get the chance to solve any question. I think it would be a great experience and a nice starting point for you to develop on what you have and what you do. So, I strongly encourage you to participate in this contest. They are going to be hosted every Saturday. I just want to remind the time again because uh, it's an important information. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. in East African time. So, I hope I will see you there in the Saturday contest. And furthermore, I hope I will see most of you in the community education as well. Good luck and bye, everyone. I hope I will see you there in the Saturday contest. And furthermore, I hope I will see most of you in the community education as well. Good luck and bye, everyone. I hope I will see you there in the Saturday contest. And furthermore, I hope I will see most of you in the community education as well. Good luck and bye, everyone. I hope I will see you there.